this is Mr. Jodrick, and I'm going to do an episode 1 of Dragon Ball Daima review. Let's start with the spoiler-free parts. The animation was nothing short of beautiful. It was a pleasure to look at, and it really captured Toriyama's manga style way better than everything else. The fights and movement were fluid, and the animation itself was consistent, with none of the problems that Dragon Ball Super had when it first started. The music was very good. It felt fun, bubbly when it needed to be, and also dark and ambient at the same time when you're in the demon realm. I really loved the small touches of like the rain sounds and the overall atmosphere. They did a very good job with the audio as well as the visuals. The ending theme, which I assume was actually the opening just played at the end as anime do sometimes, was really nice, and I hope that I get to hear that again and again, because it was just really pretty to listen to. Could stay as the ending theme if they want, but I think it's the opening theme. I don't know because I haven't listened to any of them yet. I know they've been around online for a little bit, but yeah. And as to people wondering, can I watch this without seeing Dragon Ball Super? The answer is yes. It takes place after Z but before Super, specifically even before Battle of Gods. I would recommend seeing all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. If you want to get crazy, read the manga, look at Dr. Slump and all the other connected things to the universe, like Jocko the Galactic Patrolman. But yeah, all you really need is Dragon Ball Z knowledge. But, you know, I'm a nerd and I've seen it all. And the last thing in the spoiler-free segment is that the lore is fun and it fits great with the established lore that Toriyama had talked about with the demon race prior. It wasn't a whole lot, but if you're a deep fan, you've looked into these things already. So I'm glad that it's pretty consistent. Now for the spoiler segment. If you haven't seen the episode, this is your warning. Don't watch this part without watching the first episode. Right off the bat, retcons up the booty in this first episode. The big thing that I noticed was Kibito Kai, the fusion between Supreme Kai Shin and Kibito, had unfused in a different way as to the one we were given in Dragon Ball Super. In Super, it was stated that the Namekian Dragon Balls were used to wish them apart, but in Daima, it is now said that they asked Buu to use his absorbing thing that happened in Z with Vegito, and his body's atmosphere dissolved their fusion. Wasn't super clear, but you know, it's whatever. They're going back to the way that people used to think it is. It is a retcon, but it's not a big deal because I'll explain later about the consistencies and inconsistencies from Toriyama's script and things in Super, which might be why that happened. However, I don't think they retconned the 1 hour time limit from Super. I believe it was stated that Potara fusion is only permanent if it involves Supreme Kais. In the Super manga, Black and Zamasu start defusing, but Zamasu's immortality gets in the way of this. If Zamasu had not been immortal, then they would have likely just split and the problem would have been solved because they could have just taken them out separately. Changes and inconsistencies like these are due to Toyotaro and Toei having different interpretations on Toriyama's outline for Dragon Ball Super. If you didn't know, Toriyama had a major outline for all of Dragon Ball Super, and the manga and the anime took different routes because they made different decisions with the story. These are little things, but important for things like this. The 1 hour time limit is for only those who are not Supreme Kai, and it is first stated in the Future Trunks arc, which takes place after Daima, so there is no reason to assume that this 1 hour time limit has been retconned either. It also doesn't break canon having Kibito Kai being defused from Buu. It's just a different explanation, and this is the one we're going to go with, I guess, which is fine. Now, a hardcore fan like me had some small nitpicks. For example, Dr. Arinsu, I might be saying that wrong, was said to be the sister of Shin and Degesu. Most people would be like, yeah, so what? She's a core world race, aka the Supreme Kai race. It's not crazy that they are related. But as some of us know, each core person is not created like a human would be. They are born from magical fruits that grow off the Tree of Worlds, aka the Kaiju tree. It is presumed that they do not reproduce or have family structure like the humans, so it is supposedly inconsistent to call them siblings. Though I guess if they come from all the same tree, siblings make some kind of sense as they share a mother, so to speak, being the tree. The only other thing I needed to adjust to was some color decisions made for the characters. For one, Goku's outfit is just too yellow-orange for my liking. Kibito is also a totally different skin tone than he was in the Z anime, and Mr. Popo's vest not being red threw me off as well. However, from what I can tell, all these so-called changes are actually part of the anime's attempt to stay close to Toriyama's manga color palette. Now let's talk about some of the new lore we got. First off, new series, new Dragon Balls, like usual. I'm very interested to learn and see what the Demon Realm dragon looks like and what its capabilities and limitations are. It seems they are tied to black magic, as stated the Earth set is tied to white magic. This vaguely reminds me of the Shadow Dragons in GT and how using the Dragon Balls created negative energy, though it is obviously not the same. While we're on the topic of GT, I'm sure a lot of people are calling this the canon version of GT, but I don't agree. Yes, Goku was wished into a child's body in GT, but don't forget, the Pilaf gang did the same thing to gain some extra lifespan prior to the events of Battle of Gods. To a lesser extent, Bulma took this idea and wished for small bumps in her youth, as revealed in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. All that is to say is that there's some consistency in canon for this particular type of wish. Though, I can recognize GT being the first to use that wish, and to be used to try and foil Goku. Back to the Demon Realm. We found out that all Namekians in Universe 7, and likely Universe 6, originated in the Demon Realm, as they all have pointy ears. This harkens back to before the Namekians were a race, and Demon King Piccolo was a literal Demon King. I wonder if this means that maybe someone in the lineage of the King of the Demon Realm are responsible for making them. If not, then maybe the Maikaioshin. For all we know, Dr. Arinsu is responsible for their creation. Since the Namekians only drink water and love the Aisas trees, they could have come from a corrupted or experimented on fruit from the Tree of Worlds. I'm also interested to see if the dragon god Zarama ties into this, as he is the one who created the Super Dragon Balls. It's going to be interesting seeing where the Namekian lore goes from here and how people like Piccolo and Dende react to all of this. Overall, I thought the episode was a great way to kick it off. It was rounded in the animation, in the story, I like the characters, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Just based off this first episode, I'd say Daima has a strong start, and right now is truly a great time to be a Dragon Ball fan with both Daima and Sparking Zero happening at the same time. For all the people out there who are cautious about Daima and are not liking the directions it's going and some of the decisions that was made, just please try to remember, this was Akira Toriyama's work. He put more of himself into this than he originally expected to, and I think the end result is going to be better because of it. It's also his last project before dying. Not saying that means you have to like it, you have to love it, but just, if you like Toriyama and his work, I think it's worth giving it a shot. Well, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week or whenever the next episode drops for another review. Peace.